Hi. Hey, have you ever thought, you know your zodiac sign, but have you ever thought, I don't fully identify with it sometimes? You know why? Because you are so much more. My name's Anna-Thea, and I'm an evolutionary astrologer and a divine feminine educator. And I wanted to talk to you about a class that I'm doing this coming Saturday called You're More Than Your Zodiac Sign. So this is going to be a very interesting video. I want you to even learn in this video. So I'd love for you to come to the class. I've taught this many times through Sierra College and privately, and this one's a private class. So come be with me on Saturday because you are truly more than your zodiac sign. I have a chart here. I couldn't print it in color because I don't have a color printer. So it ends up being kind of drab, but next time I need to have a visual. This is a good a teaching visual aid thingy. But most people, you probably know what your sun sign is, right? Well, guess what? I mean, I'm sorry, let me say it the other way. You probably know what your zodiac sign is. And your zodiac sign, in my generation, if you went to a cocktail party, it's like, oh, what's your zodiac sign? Well, that's your sun sign. That's where your sun was. And the sun is the center of our solar system. That's where your sun was when you were born. Not your son, your child, but where the sun was when you were born. And that tells a big story because it is the center of our solar system. It shows where you shine. But guess what? There's nine more planets if you include Pluto's planet, though they, demoted it as a dwarf planet. But let me tell you, Pluto packs a punch. And so there's nine other planets. And there's asteroids, and there's your nodal axis, the portal that you came in on. There's Chiron. And so it tells a story. You're so much more than just your zodiac sign. And your zodiac sign is really where your sun sign was when you were born. And so, now in the generation of all the apps and people looking up their charts and things like that, now instead at a cocktail party, they're not going to say, what's your sun sign, but what is your sun, moon, and rising, right? Or they're not, I'm sorry, no one says what's your sun sign because they don't even know your zodiac is your sun sign. But they'll say, what's your sun, moon, and rising? And not really even knowing what that means as well. What's the significance of your sun? What's the significance of your moon? And what's the difference between your moon and your rising? And so, kind of understanding these imprints, what's your nodal axis? That's the portal that your soul actually came in on. And I'm going to be doing a separate class specifically on your nodal axis, and that's past life imprints and things like that. But even without the nodal axis, we can look at a chart. You can learn to look at your chart and see the imprint of your soul. Your chart, your natal chart, is basically a snapshot of where all the planets were in the cosmos, in the sky, when you took your first breath. And it tells a story. It tells a story of who you are, the energies that you came in with, the energies that you've been working on, and the energies that you're working towards in this lifetime. And I want you to know that you truly are a mystery. And it's really a journey of revealing or unraveling the mystery of who you are in this lifetime. I had a healer tell me, and remember this for years. If by the end of your life, the only person that you got to know was yourself, life would have been worth living. So, do you really know who you are and the beauty and the uniqueness? No two charts are exactly alike. I mean, maybe if you took the breath at the same time, but you come in with your own unique personality and your own psychological imprint from your own personal lineage. So you truly are a unique individual. And what happens if you believe, evolutionary astrology believes that we do come in with these certain energies, we're working on things and we're working towards, but we call it evolutionary astrology because when you start understanding your unique imprint, then you can move your own personal soul's evolutionary dial forward. And why is that so important right now? Have you noticed how wild and crazy life is lately? I mean, I definitely feel it. And I feel a strong impulse right now to imagineer a better future because we just seem to be bombarded with so many heavy energies, and it doesn't look like a very positive future. But I keep on going back to what Gandhi said. Didn't he say this? Be the future, yeah, be the future that you want to create, right? So embody it. I don't think I'm saying that exactly right, but be that. Why am I not saying it correctly? Anyway, I think you know what I mean. Be that which you want to see in the world. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Okay? Work on that because that's the only thing right now that we really ultimately have control over. And so instead of, work on your own personal individual challenges. And they're seated right in the chart. And you probably even know them. But the chart shows you how you're going to be able to move forward and past those. Okay. I have Pluto at the top of my chart, and so constantly forging forward, not giving up, stepping into my power, facing challenges, and saying, "Nope, instead of like crumbling, nope, got to stand up and move forward." Because I have a nodal axis of Pisces, Virgo, and on with Virgo, Pluto right there near it, next to it, conjunct, not exact conjunction. But Pisces is just like, oh, everything's perfect, perfect, whole, and complete, just the way it is, which it is. But if we all were just like this, then nothing would happen. We have to have both the masculine and feminine energies, right? Action and pause, or being and doing. And so, part of my soul's mission is to face my own personal challenges. Woo! And move forward into my own transformative power. What is it for you? That's just one example. Let me see. What I want to say is that in this class that I'll be giving on Saturday, we're just going to come together and we're going to have a boatload of fun. I'm going to give you a lot of information. It's going to be recorded so that you can digest it later. We'll have time for Q&A. There's 12 houses. So it's broken up into 12 different pieces. There's 10 different planets. I'm sorry, there's 10 planets, 12 houses, 12 signs. It's like you're a soup, this unique soup. And if you're looking at just who your zodiac sign is, then you're just looking at just the carrots when there's also onions and garlic and spices and all kinds of, potatoes and meat and parsley, or, all kinds of things in the soup. And so it's really diving deeper into what are the ingredients that make up you? The good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'm doing that this Saturday, which is April the 18th, 9 to 11:30 PST. The link will be below. I'll also put it in the comments so it's easy for you to register. And it's going to give you a good foundation. You don't even have to be into astrology to benefit from this. What you really need to, how you'll benefit is if you feel like you're just challenged at this time and you need to have something that really helps you move your own personal dial forward. And this will be the beginning of that supportive process, because astrology is a personal empowerment tool, and we need those tools right now. And this is my gift to be able to give you this wisdom, and so that you can look at your chart and say, at first I still do it. You look at your chart and it's still a mystery, but the mystery is unfolding. And that's the beauty of it. And I always say this, life is so mundane. We can get caught up in going to work, having to clean the house, having to deal with the same people over and over again. And so when we can get beyond the mundane and get more into the understanding of the mystical and the uniqueness and the sacredness of life and the sacredness of who you are, then life becomes magical. Life becomes special. Your relationships become sacred. And that's what I really want to support you in, is seeing in the beauty and the grace and the the mystery and the magic of being in this human body and being in this experience. The other thing is you'll have more compassion for your challenges and who you are, but you'll also learn how to understand other people on a deeper level. For example, someone that has a lot of Taurus in them isn't going to have an easy time changing, right? They like stability. They like solidness. Capricorn likes things practical and logical, whereas Aquarian people might want to move the dial forward. So, not only understanding your own personal imprint, but the imprint of others that are close to you really, really helps. As a matter of fact, when I first started astrology, and you can go there now, astro.com, that was the software that I used. And the first thing I did, of course, and you can go and do that yourself, is go to astro.com and create your own chart so that you can get a printout of your soul's imprint, right? A printout of your soul's imprint. And I began there, and then my next step was to get all my family members and friends and people that were close to me and put them in there and start understanding the difference. Like you'll look every single chart, like this chart right here. And by the way, this chart is the chart of February the 20th, when we had a very big conjunction of Saturn and Neptune. And look at all of the energy in Aquarius and Pisces at that time of that conjunction. And what that means is Aquarius is elevation, innovation, progress, moving forward, going to a higher perspective, innovating. What's interesting is that but it was the actual conjunction was in Pisces. And Pisces is, it's so hard to describe Pisces because Pisces is Neptune. And my teacher, Maurice Fernandez, wrote a whole book on it, Neptune. But it's the cosmos. It's the last sign in the zodiac. And so it's the collective, it's compassion, it's spirituality, it's being instead of doing, it's trusting in the process, it's being under the influences of greater forces than just your own. It's very transpersonal as opposed to personal. Transpersonal is we are all in it together. Personal is me and my own experiences, right? And so when we look at this chart for that conjunction, this was the biggest conjunction that just recently happened, February the 20th. And I'm going to explain it because Neptune and Saturn, this is the imprint of it. Neptune and Saturn came together, but they had been coming together, and I've talked about this before. They were dancing together in retrograde and going forward for about the last 2 years, and going back and forth in the last sign, Pisces of the zodiac, and the very first sign of the zodiac, Aries. And so it was like we're in this birthing canal, and these two planets are not good bed partners. Saturn is about systems and structures, and government and things practical and logical and very earthy. And Neptune is the ethers, the cosmos, no boundaries, no borders, just we are all connected, right? And we're all in this together. And so my teacher, Maurice Fernandez, likens it to Saturn is the rock and Neptune is the water, because it is actually a water sign, and Saturn is an earth sign. And so I was thinking, well, am I talking about planet or zodiac sign? Anyway, Saturn is the rock and Neptune is the water, just eroding away. And massive amounts of water, right? Just eroding away this structure. And so that's what's been happening in the last couple of years, is this rebirthing. And when the conjunction happened on February the 20th, It was at 0 degrees of Aries, the very beginning degree of the zodiac sign, Aries, right? Where is that in your chart? Because that's where you are needing, or your soul is wanting to birth the new you. And the new you, according to this imprint, is calling you and all of us to elevate Aquarius, to step into a more futuristic potential that's more high-minded and more collective. Aquarius is, technology and AI, right? But it's also groups of people in our community, right? And it's also intellect, and it's also, it's transpersonal. It's the latter sign. It's the second to the last of the zodiac sign, so it's in the fourth quadrant. And so it's about all of us together in this together. So you are being birthed with, but Aries is like passion and me. Have you ever met an Aries before? It's like me and mine, and I know what I want and I'm going for it. It's that entrepreneurial, passionate. It's a fire sign. It's that entrepreneurial spirit. And so birthing in you your own unique passions, restructuring Saturn, that impulse of your own. Aries is very creative, your own creative expression. However, for the greater good of humanity, and not for trying to make, have a bigger McMansion or a three-car garage like it was in the old paradigm. We have to really create a better future. We're all in it together. Let's step forward in a better future, right? And so the astrology is supporting you in that. And where is that conjunction happening? Or where did that conjunction, where had it been working on you in this last couple of years of really, dissolving systems and structures or even belief systems in your life that don't allow you to express your own unique creative expression and gift that to the greater good of humanity? We're all being called to do that. But I'm curious where that might be in your chart, right? You can find that out in, if you don't know astrology, you would have to understand, and you could look at your chart and see where 0 point Aries is and see if there's any planets there or if there's any planets square to it or opposing it, right? Okay. So the beauty of this class on Saturday is that you're going to have at the beginning stages of really looking at your own unique chart, because you'll bring it to class and I'll show you how to do that. And then start understanding the symbols and the positioning of your unique chart, and beginning to understand the story that it's wanting to reveal to you. What else did I want to say? And then you can look at it and say, wow, that's me, Um, there was something else I wanted to mention. The link's going to be below to register. Please make a comment. I'd love to hear what sun sign you are, and if you know your zodiac sign, and if you know your sun, moon, and rising, put it in there. That would be fun too. And yeah, this Saturday, 9 to 11:30, it's $47. If you can't make it, you'll get the recording. And I think that I covered, I know there's one more thing I want to mention, but for now, I'll be back and I look forward to having you in class. All right, have a beautiful day. Namaste.